I've got some bad news. Some of your favorite soft drinks might be a little hard to find. There's a nationwide shortage and it's affecting some of the most popular brands out there. Consumer reporter John Matarese shows us what to look out for.
Coca-Cola is the #1 soft drink in Texas and around the country. But have you noticed lately, some versions of Coke are getting hard to find? It may be the real thing, but some versions of Coke are not very real this pandemic summer. Twitter is filled with complaints from people who can't find their favorite Coke product, including caffeine-free Coke, Cherry Coke, and Fresca. Coca-Cola CEO James Quincey told investors they're focusing on their key brands right now, like Coke and Diet Coke, to keep store shelves stocked. They don't want Coke ending up like Lysol wipes, impossible to find. He also said the company may soon discontinue some slow-selling brands, but won't say which ones. But from the Doesn't That Stink file, the bigger threat to Coke products, the aluminum can shortage. It's starting to impact all soft drink companies and breweries.
About 95% of our production now is all canned product. And if we can't get the cans, then we can't put anything out.
CNN blames soaring demand for canned beverages, from White Claw to craft beers. They're just people drinking more at home and not going to bars. So beer and soft drink makers are filling cans and not kegs right now. And those cans are starting to run low. Bottom line, if you find some of those less popular versions on your store shelf, you might want to grab a few so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese for H-Town Rush.